Welcome once again to a Monday night edition of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Dave.
And it's just us two tonight. We were going to have a few others here, but they've all had to sort of pull out due to different circumstances. So it's just our lonely selves and just our opinions. So you'll have to all suck it right there. I'm sorry. But it'll be all good. Tonight we're going to run through the latest. We're going to review the latest from Battle Beast, Kissin Dynamite, and Adelaide band Wolf and Chain. We'll have some hard rock happenings with some singles and that coming up as well. We'll discuss the Triple J Hottest 100 and a few other bits and pieces too. There's a whole lot of stuff coming up. But before we do, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all the usual things that everyone gets you to do. So please check out the description or the post of this one wherever you are. And follow links to follow us on your preferred social media network. And a big thank you, of course, to our fantastic sponsors in Squitting, Screen Printing, Alt, Cult, and Rockstar Finance. Find them and give them a follow as well. Their details, just like ours, are in the description of this episode here. If you'd like to help us out directly, I would really love it. It would help us out a lot. So what I'm going to do here is share a link to our Patreon page, believe it or not, people, just to give ourselves a shameless little plug here. Those that are in Patreon will know how much I give you guys. I give our Patreon supporters something like anywhere between 6 and a dozen tracks a day of new music. Check out that comes through the inbox here. That's just for $2 a month, and you get exclusive content and all this sort of stuff as well. So just jump in there, have a look around. If there's anything you can do to help us out, it'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. But we are going to get stuck into things in just a moment. But before we do, we'll go and say hello to some people here. So Dean is here saying, "Hey lads, hope you had a great weekend," and he's also gone, "Love the shirts." That's cool. I've got the babes on tonight. Def Leppard for Dave. Sally's here going, "Hey guys, good to see you here, Sally. As always, love having you around." Michael is here as well, Mikey, saying, "Hey guys, good to see you again, buddy." And Dean's also saying, "Get on with the Patreon stuff as well." That all helps us out. That's basically allows us to get more done because we're volunteers. We do this in our own time outside of work hours. So jump in there, give us a bit of a chop out if you'd be so kind. It'd be greatly, greatly apprecited. Yeah, like I said, we've got a bit to get through as always tonight. But before we do get stuck into things, how you going, Dave?
Yeah, I'm great.
Yep.
Family's happy and healthy. Weather's nice. Beer's cold. Barbecues are good. And music's loud. It's been a lot of good music coming through recently, and there's a lot of bands that have been inspired to go and check out their earlier catalogue. So keeping busy, not lacking in anything to listen to. But apart from that, life is good. Nothing's really, bad or anything. And planning on fixing more of my fence tomorrow. So if you heard about my adventures last year, I still have the blood blister under my nail from hitting myself with a hammer about 5 times or 10 times and screaming motherfucker, and the whole neighborhood coming to watch what I was doing. But yeah, part 2 tomorrow. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Julia, if you tune into this, I want video. Just to the bad ideas kicking all around. Just to see
it'll happen.
Yeah.
How you been, man?
Yeah, good. Everything's pretty good. Work's up and down as always, like you and I both having a bit of a quiet spot in that regard, so it's not too bad, but there's a whole lot of other stuff going on at the moment. At the moment, I've got a lot of editing to do because it's that last week of the month where I've got to get about 6 hours worth of TV done, which is the fun part, so I'm just sort of grinding away at that, getting things done. We got the last bits and pieces done over the weekend for the next month of TV sort of thing, so that's all good. Around that, for those that follow me, knowing that I love the NFL, you'd have seen the Chiefs had an absolute fucking cracker of a game today. So I'm taking that win there in the playoffs, which is good. And we'll see how things go next week. But yeah, for now, everything's good. Nothing to complain about, just sort of chilling, doing the work that I've got to get done. So it's always busy, but at least I'm able to do it at home with the dogs at the moment, which is a nice touch. And I get to keep them cool out of the heat. So everything's good. Got some comments coming through again here. So Keith's here saying, "Hey dudes, happy new year." Now last I heard was you actually got the Rona, buddy, so hopefully you're feeling better. Yeah, so I don't know if you're in that stream, but yeah, apparently word came through but Keith got the Rona, so hopefully you're feeling better, mate. Dean's asking, no win today, Dave, so we're waiting for Dave. Not yet. Basher's going, "G'day all." So good to see you here, Basher. And Sally wants the footage from Julia as well. So we're getting a bit of a thing going there. And Dean,
Julia for right footage.
Sorry. Yeah, well, that's true. We have seen other footage of you before. So. Stuff that's not safe people to share. What else we got here? Dean's going, "Go 49ers." Well, we'll see. You got to beat the Rams. That'll be a tough ask. So good luck with that. And Lee's gone Chiefs all the way, mate. I've been a Chiefs fan since fucking Montana was the quarterback, so I'm loving the last few years. And Belinda's going evening all. Good to see you here, Belinda. Hopefully you're keeping very well out there too. Alrighty, so we've done the meet and greet. Feel free to jump in, give us your thoughts, your comments, and all those things as we go along. We're looking forward to getting all of your thoughts as we do all the time. But let's start off with our first bit of a hard rock happening, which is a new single. Let's try this one out for Sire. So, hang on. What do we got? Moose, Screwed, Rock On All, and get into original band Screwed. Okay, cool. Send us a link, and we'll try and check it out. What else we got here? So let's get into the new single from Voyager. Alrighty, this is a West Australian band. They're hoping to compete in this year's Eurovision contest. So this is their song that's an entry to that. It's in the comments. It's in the description as well. A link to that. Voyager. The song is Dreamer. It's a new single. Like I said, it's for Eurovision. So it's a bit different for us in particular to cover this one. But Dave, how'd you go with it?
Yeah, it's different for us, that's for sure. It's probably got a good chance at Eurovision, actually. But personally, it's a little bit too much on the dance and digital side for me. I mean, they're a hybrid of styles. They bring a lot of different influences from different genres, and this is done well. But it's too far on the pop side for me. Guitar stuff was pretty cool in there, but that whole backing digital thing that it starts off with and just continues to go, so it's like, ugh. No, it's not for me. And it's just personal taste. I mean, what they do really well, and they've got a unique sound, which is cool. But yeah, if you like the Night Flight Orchestra, you probably like this, and I don't like the Night Flight Orchestra. So I'm expecting Andrew will probably enjoy this. But yeah, it's a good track. It's just not for me.
Yeah. No, see, you're right. I did enjoy this one quite a bit. It does start off very electronica. So if you're watching the first 30 seconds of that clip going, hang on, what are these guys doing? Stick with it. It does. When the guitar kicks in, there's actually, for me, it was surprisingly heavier than I expected it to be, knowing what they were going for. They've got a real sort of genty kind of thing going on underneath this sort of glossy synth effects, but then there's almost a bit of INXS about this as well. So there's a bit of everything going on, and it really does fit the Eurovision vibe. It might not be strictly, hard rock metal kind of thing, but I think there's enough in there to say it is, personally. I think that, like you said, if you like things like Night Flight Orchestra, which I love, then you're definitely going to get a kick out of this one. But the hook is great. Like, there's a great hook in that chorus. It gets stuck in your head so easy, and it does have some nice gear changes for a shorter little song. I really did, knowing that it was going for Eurovision, I went in there with sort of relatively low expectations, but this time around, I walked away going, actually, that's pretty fucking cool. So if you don't mind with it of, the sparkle stuff going on, because it is very bright, very sparkly, but there's just this nice grunt in the guitar that sort of kicks it on too, which I really did thoroughly enjoy this one. So for me, it's a good one. And the video is really well put together as well. That's got to be said. The execution on that video is very, very clever, and it's very, again, fitting for the vibes. Once you take into account, I think it's a good song, period. But once you take into account that's going for Eurovision, I think it's definitely in with a good shot of getting through. And I would like to see it get through, because I reckon those guys could do a really good job over there with this one. But we'll see how we go. We got some comments here coming through, which is nice. Alrighty. Okay, quickly here. Our good friend Rowan Sumalith, he's over on YouTube giving us the horns as always. So good to see you here, buddy. Keith says, it was 3 days of hell, but I felt better by the time my ISO period had ended. Now I'm back into the swing of things. Good to hear, mate. I'm glad you're feeling better. That's awesome. Back to the American football. Dean says, see how we go. 2 sides on the ground if the refs don't screw it up. Reffing has been interesting this year. I'll put it that way. Michael says, back to the single now. The choreography in the film clip with the Voyager band in the clip is very much for Eurovision, I think, which is cool. Sally says, good luck at Eurovision, but so much synth. I listened longer than I thought I would, so that's all right there. It's an interesting one there. Dean liked it, though, so he's going to like the track. And Moose is back saying, screw it again. So go and check out that band there. All right, so there you go. You got a bit of a different one there for us to start with, but I really did enjoy it, and I encourage people to go and check it out. So we'll see what happens with that one. Let's move on to one that is definitely more in our traditional wheelhouse here. This is a bit of Ghost. They got a new album coming out. They've just announced that Impera will be out on March 11, and they've dropped a new single to go with it, which is Call Me Little Sunshine. It's in the description. It's in the comments. Ghost, Call Me Little Sunshine, the latest from them. How did you go with this one, Dave?
I never got Ghost for such a very, very long time. It wasn't until Prequel came out that I started to appreciate what they do, and I finally got it. Prequel was half a good album for me. Parts I loved, parts was meh. And then few months ago they released Hunter's Moon. I was like, that's fucking cool. I like this song. Okay, so I've been looking forward to what they're doing in the future. Then they dropped this Call Me Little Miss Sunshine. It's very haunting and chilling, and I like this. This is similar to Hunter's Moon, but whatever they're doing for their next album, if it's along these lines, it's going to be pretty fucking cool. Now, I've gone back to prequel recently, and it is growing on me. So this is a band that divides people, but if you dismiss them to start with, just keep an eye on them because they continue to grow. And it might be one of those ones where you have to work backwards. If you dismissed them years ago, the new stuff that they're dropping is pretty interesting. So I think this was a good track.
It's actually a good way to put it that you've done there, Dave, because my first impressions of Ghost weren't as good as they are today. Prequel and another album before that have been my albums of the year for a couple of times now. So they've smoked it over the last few releases. This single here, along with Hunter's Moon, is giving me a very, very dark vibe, which is really cool. What I love about what these guys do is that they always evolve from album to album, but they always have little callback moments to make you think of the last one they did. So in particular on this one, the guitar solo, when that sort of comes in, there's a little solo moment. I think it's guitar or it's a synth, whatever. There's a solo which goes back to what they had on Prequel. There's a distinct tone which links and calls you back to it. So they've got this really, really sharp knack of always evolving, but never leaving you feeling like they've gone completely off the rails. They've always got enough anchor points to keep you going with it. And I've been in love with this band for quite some time. I'm one of those fanboys for these guys now, so I'm not going to hate anything they do. It's going to take a lot for me to disapprove. This one, I love it. I love the darker vibe. I like the video clip as well, actually. The video clip's pretty cool for this one too. It's just a really good, solid song. It's a bit darker, a bit slower, but there's that menace that they do so well too, which is fucking cool. I don't know. I love Ghost, so it's going to be a win for me all the time. But yeah, this is definitely worth your time. Definitely check it out. What else we got here? Let's go to some comments. All right, Rowan, he's gone, after Dave got into Prequel, did he go back and enjoy the earlier albums, or is there a difference between Prequel and the earlier stuff? There's a question for you, Dave.
Not yet, but I'm planning to.
Okay.
Yeah, I've spun Prequel 5 or 6 times since Christmas, just recently, and it's definitely growing on me. So spend a little bit more time with that album, then I'll move back to the next one. I'll just backtrack.
Yep. Cool. Now, I do think it's worth doing. If you struggle with the earlier stuff, listen to the newer stuff and work your way back. I think that will actually have a net positive effect on the way you perceive the band. Dan Wick or Dan, whatever. Hey, good to see you live again. Been a while. We've been back for a week now, so apparently, sorry you've missed out last week, but we're back, and we're back into the routine of things full on now. We're back to 2 streams plus a week, so get ready for more hell from us in 2022. Dean there is confirming the new album March 11, which is cool. Lee has said here, keep persisting with Ghost, catchy tunes and great hooks. Not a fanboy, unfortunately. Yeah, it is that one of those bands that not everyone gets, but once they get it, it's like a bit like Night Flight. Once they get the hooks into you, very hard to get them out.
Not going to get me.
Michael said, I saw Ghost at Flemington Racecourse for, I think, Good Things or Download Festival. It was definitely a show to see. Download was fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I forget who it was, but someone actually walked over to me and said that they were only in that tent to watch Ghost because they'd seen it on the show. So that was a win on that day for me. That was fucking amazing. But yeah, live, I don't care what you think about the albums. If you get a chance to see the band live, do it. It's fucking incredible. It's one of those things you just got to see it. They do it so well. The execution is perfect. Well, there we go. Dean goes in. You guys seen Ghost? Yes, I have. So fucking loved it. If they come out again, I'm going in a heartbeat. Bash has said,
I'm going to put a light on. It's getting dark.
Oh, okay, you do that. Bash has gone, love all the Ghost catalog, looking forward to the new album and seeing them live. It's a pity that Dave's lost his mood lighting. But anyway, it's Daniel Bateman. Okay, new account for Facebook. Okay. Now I'm with you, Daniel. Alrighty, cool. Good to see you again. Someone got his
lava lamp.
The lava lamp.
Just need a lava lamp. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be all right. Oh, Lee's gone. They were on the same time as Slayer during Download. Couldn't miss the opportunity to see them live and were great live. See, I left. I did catch some of the Slayer set, but I'd seen Slayer before, and so I hadn't seen Ghost before, so I left at the time to go and see Ghost, and I was like, oh, wow. We've had a great debate. There's footage I'll release at some point where there's footage between us, like Tim, Brendan, Mick, myself, Jody, Nikki. There's a bunch of us all getting into each other about who we stayed to watch, and those of us that went and saw Ghost were like, oh my god, and those that stayed at Slayer were like, oh my god. it's been this whole back and forth for a long time about which one we were, happy to see. But yeah, I was very happy with that day. Dean's gone. If they come out again, I'll go see them. I highly recommend it. They are worth seeing live. Definitely worth seeing live. Alrighty. Time to go on to a Aussie band again with a bit of Bad Moon Born. Let's move on. So this one is one I'm pretty sure Dave's going to absolutely love, knowing his fanboy for Jordan Von Gray moments here. But this is Bad Moon Born with Light Leaves the Day. It's the latest video and single from the band. It's in the comments. It's in the description. Bad Moon Born, Light Leaves the Day. The single was out a couple of weeks ago, but the video has only just recently been released. So, Dave, how'd you go with this one?
Yeah, this is cool. Bad Moon Born have been dishing out some great songs in the last 6 months to a year. I probably Jordan's addition to the band just brings a whole new level of not just performance but lyrics as well. There's some of the stuff they've been doing recently is really honest, for lack of a better word, and way to describe it. But it's kind of a different track for them. It's more laid back and reflective. It's not it's not a heavy track. And the video is really well done too. It's just Jordan walking over a bridge in the middle of the night and cut with them in the studio perform, and it was really effective. It kept it subtle and just let the music do what it has to do. But if you're new to this band or you've been following them, it's definitely a song worth checking out because I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
You're right that it is a bit of a slower one for them, but it's a nice change of pace. This is the last track they've done for the Heart from the Hollow series of singles. Very somber, very introspective sort of number. There's some honest lyrics in this one too, and it is very somber and moody in that, but there's also that bit of hope in it too. It's not all darkness and depression and stuff. There's actually that you walk away at the end of the song going, okay, cool. You feel like there's healing and progression and stuff afterward. It's very emotive. It's all those things, but there's this when Bad Moon Born back before they had War Is One EP and stuff, they were going more into the modern heavy rock kind of stuff. What they're doing with Jordan on vocals is different. And I really do like what they're doing with it, to be honest. I think they're doing some seriously great stuff. And this little run of 5 tracks from the Heart from the Hollow series, it's been fucking great. And this is a really nice way to close it out. So they're doing good things all around. I just think they're going from strength to strength, these guys. And I like how it's not only the band, Jordan in particular as well is putting his heart on the line a bit more, I guess, a bit more on the sleeve kind of a thing over the last few things through various projects that he's in. But this is really, really cool. And it shows how they're settling into the maturity of their songwriting now too, which is incredibly well done. So everything these guys are doing is fucking fantastic at the moment. So if you're not already over these guys, there's a bunch there to go and check out. Check out this, check out any of the other stuff. You won't just, if you're watching us and you like what we do and what we talk about, you're going to like this band. If not this one, you're going to like anything they've done before because they do some really good stuff. So check out that. I think it's a great little single. It's a bit of a slow one, but it's well worth your time. If you like the emotive stuff, it's really nicely done. So very well done to the boys there. Got some comments coming through. So Lee, good friend Lee, he's got an introspective gem for Jordan Von Gray. He is a star. Yes, he definitely is. And Dave has seen him a few times live, and I know how much you love seeing him.
Oh, man. The stuff he did with Cults of Ice, holy shit.
I think they're still going as something, aren't they, Cults of Ice?
Sure, they've been quiet recently, but who knows? 2020, 2021, who the fuck knows what's going on with people?
That's a good point.
People got to keep themselves healthy first before they focus on their projects.
Completely agree. Very good point, that. Michael says, I was a fan of the original lineup with Bad Moon Born, but it took me a few tracks for me to like the new singer. I'm definitely keen to see them as the band they are today. That's a good point there. It's good to see other people that have been there from a while back and getting on board with this one too. That's a good thing. If he's winning old school fans over, that's a win. Well done. Danny's gone, this is great. Melodic as fuck, and what a great voice. That's true. And I like the emotive conviction in it too. Like you believe. Yeah. He's gone, Dan, cheers, Buzz, Suki, with the Facebook stuff. So, yes, we're here. All right. There's comments going back and forth. I'm going to assume that's Moose going to Dan. Okay, cool. They're having a bit of a chat back and forth, and I'll let them have their thing. All right. You guys keep chatting. That's what it's all about. We're going to move on to the next one now, which is a bit of a change of pace again. I'm really curious as to how you went with this one, Dave. This is in the links. It's in the comments. It's in all of it. Check it out. This is the Hellfreaks from Hungary and their take on the classic Beastie Boys song Sabotage. It's something a bit different. So, over to you, Dave. How'd you go with this one?
Yeah, it'll come as no surprise to any of the regular viewers that I've never heard this song from the Beastie Boys because I'm no fan of the Beastie Boys. So completely unfamiliar to this at all. So I have no idea how it sounds, if it's a faithful cover or they've done it better or worse. I don't know. But, it's not bad. The singer's certainly got a powerful voice. Not really sure what she's saying, but it's powerful. And the band can obviously play. Yeah, it's all right. Not terrible, not great, but that whammy bar screechy solo thing that sounds like a turntable, it's impressive that he actually made his guitar sound like a turntable, so points there. But as a guitar solo, I can't give any points for that. It just throws me, that shit. I mean, yeah, whatever he's doing it on purpose, which is cool, but I don't know why he's doing it. So, yeah, it's all right. It's not terrible.
It's all good. See, for me, it does help if you know the original song, and it is pretty faithful to the original. But that said, they've done a really good job of injecting their own sound into this as well. So melodically and rhythmically, and just in the vibe, it's got the original thing. So it's very, urban. It's got some grit and stuff to it, which is cool. What is unique is the guitar work in it. It's got this sort of almost Tom Morello effect going into the guitar work and her vocals. Now, for those that have been following us for a while, a few of us loved a Melbourne band called Pagan. The vocalist here reminds me of the vocalist from Pagan. So if you like that, you're going to enjoy this one. There's melody in there, but there's a harsh edge to it. There's sort of a punk metal band kind of thing doing this cover. I think this is pretty well fucking done, personally. I really did enjoy this one. And I checked out, they've got more music coming, and I checked out some of their other stuff too, just quickly. And I'm actually really keen to check out more from these guys. This one was a bit of this opened the door. Well, Cez goes to hunt down something in the backyard. The big dog goes off barking. But yeah, so I think this is actually really well done. And like I said, it was a gateway one because it made me curious to go and check out more. So it's one of those ones where I think it'll either grab you at the start or it won't. I don't think there's much of a chance for it to grow on you kind of a thing. But for me, it got my attention straight away. So it was one of those ones that I genuinely enjoyed. And I thought they did a really, really good job covering it, but also adding their own flair. So they didn't go too far out of the lines, but they did definitely add a distinctly different flavor. And I just liked the attitude in it personally. I thought it was really well done. But there you go. Getting some differences between you and I tonight, which is cool. I like it. I like when we do this one. Back through the comments. Alrighty, so Lee has gone Cult Device no more. Tori now in Melbourne. Odin has joined a new band, and Tommy has joined the Navy. So, wow. There we go. Thanks for the heads up there, Lee. Good to know that for sure.
They were a good band.
They were really good. Dean's gone, great vocalist. Like to see what they could do with live with Bad Moon Born. I remember the day they started. Same with Michael. Yep, cool. They are good live, those boys. Tim. Hey, Tim, if you don't have... Tim. Tim's gone, hi, guys. The musical side of this cover is great, not sold on the vocals. I know that you're busy doing work and stuff, so it's all good. If you want to jump in, you've got the link. You can jump in whenever you want. There's no, not because you've missed the start, you can't jump in. If you want to, you can. If you're busy, it's all good. Don't stress. It's all good. If you feel like jumping in at any point, you've got the link, Tim, so off you go. Otherwise, enjoy doing your book work. I know how much that sucks. But yeah, shortly here. The musical side of this cover is great, not sold on the vocals. That could be a little bit of a point there too. But yeah, for me, I enjoyed it. Sally's gone, it was a cool cover, great vocal sound. She could really punch it power-wise in the right song. Korn does this live with Corey Taylor is wicked. So there we go. All right, cool. So we're getting some different feedback there. I'm glad that, it's not just me that really enjoyed it, the whole thing from top to bottom. So Sally, good to have you with us here. So Tim's gone, I'm still writing work stuff while listening in the background. I'll see how I go. All good, mate. There's no pressure. If you jump in, you jump in. If you don't, you don't. But just so you know, it's not me pressuring you. BP on YouTube's going, jump on, Tim. So, just to have some fun there. All righty. Okay. That's the singles out of the way. So please do go and check those ones out there and make up your own mind. Of course, if you're tuning in now or later on, just follow the links. You'll be okay. I don't know where my dog's gone. He's run away, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm waiting to hear a fence breakdown or something because he's a big boy. Let's move on to the discussion point of tonight's little hard rock happenings segment, and that is the passing, obviously, of Meatloaf. Just want to take a minute here to acknowledge it. Got some more comments. I'll get to those in a second. But no, it's just we'll just go. Yeah, okay, Dave. Just what are your thoughts? Just as we acknowledge the passing of Meatloaf here. I mean, we have a lot of his stuff on the show, but just we know who he is and what he's done. So,
it kind of came out of nowhere. It's just like, oh shit, Meatloaf died. It's kind of like the same reaction I had when Prince or Michael Jackson died. I'm not massive fans of any of them, including Meatloaf. I like some of his songs, like some of Prince and Michael Jackson songs, but wouldn't say I followed their careers, but of them. So when someone who's been around for so long and has contributed to the music industry in many different ways and movies and whatever else he's done, just like, Meatloaf is no longer on the planet. Shit. Yeah. That kind of sucks because, the fact I wasn't a massive fan and I still know who he was, what he did, and a lot of his songs, but even it's from an era of bands and musicians and songwriters that you might not have been a fan, but you knew who they were. So that was era that's sadly coming to an end. He's just nothing along the line in the last few years. So, but he did have some good songs. I'm sure I've butchered "I Would Do Anything for Love" many times on SingStar while drunk. Sound fantastic when I'm drunk, and then people show me videos the next day and just like, fucking dude, you gotta stop doing this. But yeah, that's a cool song.
Yeah.
But I know he meant a lot to a lot of people. So when someone like that dies, it is always sad to hear about it.
Yeah. For me, I mean, from all of us here at the show, it's always a case of condolences first and foremost to those that knew him and loved him. He's got a family that he leaves behind. So there's, commiserations and condolences to all the people that are directly impacted and the fans as well, for that matter. I think it's a rare thing, whether you love or hate an artist for what they've done, that you know who they are and what they've done kind of thing. It's actually it's hard to do, to become so, like, from Rocky Horror to Fight Club in movies, and then his albums, everyone knows certain songs, like Bat Out of Hell, or like you said, I Would Do Anything for Love. That these were iconic songs for a long period of time, still are. And to be a cultural figure is no mean feat. So you've got to sort of take a step and acknowledge the passing. I think, there's commentary that goes around at the moment. There's a few things with the COVID stuff. I don't want to get into any of that, but the beating that was handed out over the performance at the AFL Grand Final, don't get me wrong, it was a pretty ordinary performance. We'll never know the details of how and why, but I would like to think that at this point anyway, we can get past that and stop making it the butt of the joke, because he's no longer here to defend himself. So I think it's just a case of acknowledging what he's done, because any of us are killed to have one thing you've done be known by everyone. He's got multiple things in film and in music. So talented dude, very, very talented dude. I actually like his voice. I haven't checked out as much of his stuff as I would have liked over the years, but because of my background in music, it's the sort of stuff that I do gravitate toward, because it is very, theatrical. But yeah, it's a bit of a shock. It's one of those things where it just came out of nowhere. Like, it really came out of nowhere. I didn't even had any reports of him being sick or anything. So it was just sort of really, really quick. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. It came through very, very suddenly. And again, it's one of those things where you sit there and go, okay, condolences to the people that, he meant the most to, but also just to sit there and take a moment to acknowledge the passing of an artist that accomplished a great deal, more than I've ever done. So, credit where credit is due. And we'll cover one of the albums on Thursday night for the Deep Cuts session. We'll do something there for that. Just wanted to take a moment here and acknowledge the passing, and we'll leave it there. Got some comments coming through, which is cool. I'll get to the Darren comment in a second. Give me that'll be a segue. So Dean's gone, what a shock to the music and film world. As soon as I heard about it, I put on the original vinyl my dad has of Bat Out of Hell. Such a pioneer to many. Wish I saw him live. Rest in peace, big man. So there's some nice words there. Michael said, sad that last time in Australia, Meatloaf, we remembered for his grand final performance back in 2011. I wasn't a huge fan, but respected him as a musician. I think that's a good way to put it there, actually, Michael. Well put. Ben has gone, Meatloaf is great. Rest easy. Nice words there too. Keith says, I was at a pizza shop in Collingwood, the place, before a gig when I saw a post that said, rest in peace, Meatloaf. Thought it was bullshit at the start, but then looked it up. What a shocker. So there we go. Sally has gone, Bat Out of Hell tasted back to a particular summer, good memories. People belt out Meatloaf at karaoke like Dave does. He was younger, and his daughter is married to Scott Ian, rest in peace. And that's true as well. It's a good cross for us there. There we go. So Keith has gone, so we dedicated that gig to Meatloaf. Rest easy, mate. There we go. All right, some segue stuff here. We've got So Lee has got a link in the comments on Facebook. He's got a link to Odin from Cultivice's new band, Star Crazy. Okay, cool. If you want to check that out, all right. Nice. Thank you for sharing that with us. What else? Going back here, going back a minute here. Dean said, "Jump on, Tim. You still have the longest hair." Backwards comment the other day. But also, Darren said here, Dave, question for you: did you hear the new Reckless Love song, Turbo Rider?
I did.
Okay, what did you think of it? I heard it.
It's different for them. It's good, but usually their songs are just like, "Fuck, this is cool." And the last couple of songs they've released for this upcoming album are just like, it's good, but I'll go listen to their previous stuff before I put this on. Apparently, this new album is very 80s inspired. There's a bit more synth. There's some heavy stuff as well. So I'll restrain my judgment until the whole thing drops. But it's not jumping out at me yet. But as a whole album, it might work better. But at the moment, a bit disappointed.
You're a big fan of Reckless Love, so it's interesting to get your take on it. So,
yeah.
John, nothing more to add there?
Nothing more. Yeah. We've got 4 great albums out so far, so I'm hoping this one lives up, because the last one was good. It really was the heaviest I've heard them and the softest I've heard them. So they went from one extreme to the other through the album, which was cool.
Yeah.
I like that. But this one, it's like, it's nothing, not yet anyway. It might grow on me over time.
Okay. Well, I haven't checked it out. I'll try and get around to it at some point, but my inboxes, I'm still getting emails at, what have I got here? Like at 9 o'clock at night, I'm getting emails. So, hold on. Someone wants something, so it's all good. Dog, what are you doing? Caesar's now just running around outside, just going back and forth. I don't know what the fuck's going on with him at the moment. There's a great big fucking horse dog running around the backyard. Okay, what do we got here? Julie, good to see you here. She's going, screwed they rock. Hey there, I'm Jules. That's my man. Nicely done there. Cool. Alrighty. So Dean's gone, heard Meatloaf was going to go and do films, theatre, and an album and tour after his chronic pain in his back. So that never went ahead. We'll blast more of him this weekend. Nicely put there. And Basher says here, Meatloaf gave our family a lot of joy and was sad to hear his passing. Bad Out of Hell as an album is a masterpiece. Played his best songs all day Saturday, and the concert at the Palais Theatre was brilliant. Rest in peace. So there we go. Keep thinking of the good stuff. Keep giving us your thoughts as we go through. We're going to move on to our we usually do a hot topic or a draft, or this thing we're doing tonight, which is called Overrated, Underrated. And tonight's Overrated, Underrated is all to do with the topic of conversation this past week, which is the Triple J Hottest 100. So it's basically, long story short, do we think it's overrated, underrated, or about right? Dave, what are your thoughts?
Triple J Hottest 100 is seriously overrated. I know radio. I'll defend that radio still has its place today, because workplaces still have radio on. People can hear music. People can find new music. As far as Triple J goes, they're not doing what they should be doing and catering to all styles and all tastes. It's all very selective. However, the Wiggles won this year, so good on them. Finally, some class. But I couldn't tell you the last time I listened to that station at all, let alone the Hottest 100. We did one on THRS Radio a few years ago, and that's had a massive response. People seem to enjoy that because it wasn't any voting, it wasn't any ranking. We just chucked all the songs on random, and they all came out throughout the day. And the Blaze have their own playlist. They got Real Australia Hottest 100 on Spotify, which, by musicians in the scene, pushing other bands in the scene for people that like that music. So if you're actually interested in hearing new stuff, jump on that, because that'd be pretty cool. But as far as Triple J goes, they dropped the ball a long time ago, and they're run by people who don't give a shit about certain genres. I mean, if you do it properly, you can have your hip hop, you can have your electronica, and you should be having your rock. You should have fucking jazz and blues. It's supposed to cater for everybody. Everyone's tastes are unique. You expose it to people, people can make up their own mind. That's what it's all about. It's just become one of these commercial radio stations that shove the same fucking songs down your throat over and over again. So it's lost the point of what they were supposed to be doing. So, seriously overrated.
You've actually mirrored a comment here from Jordan, which I'll get to in a minute as well. Is there anything else you want to add there, or?
I'm done.
No. I think it's incredibly overrated. I think that it's a bunch of shit. That said, for what it is, for the cultural whatever that it is, it always gets people talking every year. I was sitting here doing stuff. We were filming that on the weekend, and I thought it was fucking hilarious when the Wiggles won. So I'm like, okay, good. I have no problem with the Wiggles winning it at all. I think it's hilarious. But the thing about it is what you were saying is that it's Triple J don't rely on ratings for an income. It's government funded, which means they should be playing everything. It's not about playing rock and metal only. I don't want them to do that because they've got funding. They should be exposing as much Australian music as they possibly can to as many people as they can. That is what it should be doing because it doesn't have to rely on advertising income. It's the perfect place to do that sort of stuff. So it should be just wall to wall as much as you can Australian talent and doing things like what we do here. What I would like to see more of in the conversational terms. Okay, you mentioned the Blazers Hottest 100 playlist as well. If anyone, I haven't got it with me now, but if anyone from the Ablaze crew wants to jump into the comments, fucking share it. What we need to do, or if anyone else can find it and share that playlist, do so in the comments, and I'll happily do what we can to promote that one as well. I might do a post something about it tomorrow too. Or I might, when I clip this one as an individual piece of content, I'll share the playlist link there too. But what we need to do as a community is get behind the platforms, the artists, the individuals, the whatever that are promoting Australian artists and talking about the things I like to talk about. Don't worry about talking about Triple J and what they're not doing. Talk about the people that are doing the work and let's pump up those people. And it's not just for us. I mean, yes, we'd get help out of that. But we've got a platform where let's talk about other ones too. Like we have Byron, who's still toiling away a beautiful car crash. People that do a lot of good things out there. We're not the only ones. You got Triple R, PBS. There's some awesome shows on those ones. There's all these awesome community radio shows. I know that another Dave that we know, he's done some things on some radio stations as well. So there's a lot going on. If we spent our time on social media pumping the tires up of the people that are doing the work and less time worrying about what Triple J don't fucking do or Triple M or whatever else, if you're in the comments on Facebook, the playlist is there. So Dean and Michael have both shared it. Awesome. Thank you both for doing that. But I would rather we focus on let's build this thing as a scene. It's what Tim put in the chat we were having before. I was hoping Tim would be here tonight. Our original Tim, he had some thoughts and so on. I was hoping he'd be here tonight for this one. But basically what he was saying is that we should be putting a lot more effort into pumping up the ones that are doing the work and helping to promote the things we're talking about. Those that are using their time and effort to promote those things we love to talk about so much. Let's, do more of that. Let's pump each other up. That kind of thing. So yeah, like Ablaze have that playlist going on. I know that Brad from Massive has a playlist going as well. There's a whole lot of people doing these things. Let's share those playlists around. Let's share the shows that are doing things on the community TV and community radio shows. There's a lot out there. So let's do more of that. Let's not worry about what Triple J don't fucking do. So that's my thoughts on that one there too. Tim and I are both very much on the same page with that one. And I've been saying things like for a little while now. But let's get to some comments here. Going back a bit. Alrighty. So that comment I said from Jordan before. So Jordan, thanks for joining us. The fact that commercial radio and Triple J now share a lot of commonalities says it all. They have lost their way some time ago. And Jordan does a lot of good things with Silverback. So go and support them as well. They've got some good playlists and that going on too. So go and check out their stuff. Dean says, my mum and dad saw Meatloaf at the Palais Theatre years ago and said it was one of the greatest performers and vocalists ever. Going back on that for a second, which was quickly followed by, oh boy, Triple J. So there you go. Ben was going here. Keith is saying Triple J is far beyond the joke. Tammy, I'm not sure what you were saying there. It didn't come through, but good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Keith's gone, I mean, the fucking Wiggles. Actually, I think it's hilarious. I think it's a good thing, to be honest. So, whatever. Dean said, no wonder why Australian bands need to get the fuck out of Australia. No support, especially Triple J, especially rock and a lot of other genres. And this is the thing about it, and this is why we should not... I get exactly why people are saying it, but the more we do things like this where you shared afterward the Spotify playlist, that's what we need to be doing here. Nicole over on YouTube. Hi, guys. I'm late. Sorry, never apologize. Just join in when you can. It's always good. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, Michael also shared the playlist there too, so thanks for doing that. TC has gone, it's relevant more than anything else, and that's probably fairly true too, to be honest. Basher says, Triple J's top 100 and the programming in general lost my interest a long time ago. I think I last listened regularly was in the late 90s when they did play a great variety of music styles. It was great. They lost the plot after that. And Lee has said here, back in 2001, Triple J Hottest 100 had System of a Down, Chop Suey in the top 3. How many times have changed? Yes, that's true. Dean says, Brad Marr from Massive will be interesting to see what he thinks. He will be rumbling and angry. Normally is about these sorts of things. That's true. And going back to this, the concert stuff here with Meatloaf, I believe. Bash says, I agree, it was a great concert. I'm assuming that's a reply to someone else. I don't see the context of replies and that are going on to other people's things there. So if I get things out of context, I do apologize. It is not intentional. It's just me trying to get through things as best as I can. All righty. Anything else you want to add there, Dave, or are we going to get into the reviews?
I think we're done. Let's do some reviews.
All right, let's talk about some Australian acts that do need to be talked about. First up is an Adelaide band called Wolf and Chain. I'm really curious about how this one's going to go now, because there's another one that Tim wanted to do as well. But yeah, so we'll see how this one goes with you, Dave. But this is Wolf and Chain, Amor Mortal, 6 songs, 18 minutes, the second EP from the Adelaide band released October 2021. We're catching up on a few things now. Independently and through community music that was released. 2 singles were released, Taste of Blood and An Unfortunate Tale of Two Lovers and An Insatiable Taste for Poison. I'm not sure who produced this, but a big thank you to Michael and all at Ruckus PR for sending this one in to us. So, Dave, this is a bit different. I'm not sure how you're going to go with it. How did you go?
It is different. And you know what? This is a really interesting and good band. And part of that is that they challenged me. Not
cool. All right.
Not very many bands can challenge me. I do have my likes and there's stuff I can appreciate. Yeah. But this band I like, and it's not something that I usually would, because their Spotify bio says they're punk rock emo. I'm not a massive punk fan at all, and I'm not an emo fan. But I like this band. This band is very cool. They have a lot of energy, a lot of attitude, and some fucking great ideas in composing their music. And it's interesting and dynamic, and it's not presented that way. There's a lot of thought behind what they're doing, but then they just get this punk energy and just go out and do it. But there's different sections and diversity and moods, feel, and emotion throughout their songs. And they're really short songs. They pack a fucking lot in. Yeah. There's the song... An Unfortunate Tale of Two Lovers and An Insatiable Taste for Poison. It's longer to say the title than it is to listen to the song. It's 3 minutes, but I really like the guitar work in the opening track, which is an introduction. So just a very cool mood-setting piece and a great way to open an album. They're treating an EP like it was a concept album. And so it's like a 20-minute EP, and there's a fucking lot going on. And I think they should add art rock to their bio, because there's a lot of artistic work going on as well. I remember when we did the Unfortunate Tale of Two Lovers and The Insatiable Taste for Poison, when we listened to it last year, we just reviewed that single, and that video has stuck with me since, because there's a lot of really good imagery in that, and it fit the song and it fit the mood of the story. I haven't watched it since, but it's very memorable. And the song itself was great. I liked it back then, and I like it now. There's a lot of cool changes and dynamics and mood, and the song goes for 3 minutes 14. Yeah, like I've said, there's a lot going on in a very small amount of time. Still Alive is a cool song, and that's the type of punk that I like. Some punk that I like, some it's not just the one idea, the one tempo, the one chord, and it's a long song for punk. It's 3 minutes and 12 seconds. You could call it prog punk if you wanted to, but it's interesting due to the shifts and changes. That's why I liked it. And the closing track, Taste of Blood, that's fucking great. And I like how it develops. It starts off slow, and then it builds up slightly, and then it backs off, and it builds up again. It doesn't get heavy, but it gets rocky. It builds up the drama, and just repeating that lyric at the end of "I'll never give up" just a couple of times, and then it fades out to the end. That's really great songwriting. It works on so many levels. But this is fucking good EP. I want to hear more from these guys, and I think the video clips fit a lot of what they do. I haven't seen all of them, but I want to check out more of this band. They're really interesting. I go 8 out of 10. The really long song title, I'm not going to say it again. It's my standout. And Taste of Blood.
Nice. For those curious, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but just in case I didn't, I did put in the comments and in the description the link to Still Alive. So a reference track for this one is Wolf and Chain. The track is Still Alive. So it's cool that Dave mentioned it before because that's the one I've got as a reference track on this one. Got some comments coming through. Keep them coming as we move along. For mine, though, like it starts off with a cute little introduction, which is a very, very short track. It's the shortest track on the thing. But then you get stuck right in after that. The obvious comparison for these guys is My Chemical Romance. That's why I wasn't sure how Dave would go there because I actually chose My Chemical Romance as a torture choice. Yeah, and a lot of people are comparing it. Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure where you go with it. I'm glad you took something else entirely from it, which is awesome to me. Because me being especially the Black Parade, I love that album. I can see the comparison between this band and the Black Parade. That said, someone who hated Black Parade that's sitting with me here tonight. Really enjoyed this one. So there we go. This is something that's a bit more open. It has the emo tag and all that sort of stuff, but there's a lot more to this. I got sort of a bit of a Queen vibe in the way those song structures were changing and the way they'd go from fast to stop and slow, and they'd had really strong tempo changes, which gave me that sort of a Queen-esque kind of a vibe, just in the way they've composed things. But this one is really cool. That whole When We Were Young fest that's been doing the rounds lately, this would be a good band for that. This is fun, but it's dark and twisted, which I think is one of the reasons why Dave would like it. There's a certain darkness and a certain tongue-in-cheek element to this that's going into it. It's very, very fun, entertaining. The videos are great that you mentioned before as well.
Dude's got fangs, man.
Yeah. Get your attention right quick. There is some great energy on this one too. That has that modern punk vibe going, but there's more to it than that. It's not simplistic. There's a lot of, like you said, art in this. There's an art element. There's a lot of theater in what they do. Very, very cool. Very different. Something that the hooks in this are insane. Like I said, the theater, the drama in this is really cool as well. And they're not one-trick ponies. They've got some really cool gear changes, and they've got some neat aggression in this one too. So they've got the hooks. They've got some meat on the bone. They've got a bit of everything here, which is really cool. I'd love to know who mixed this because it sounds fucking phenomenal. Like, this sounds great. There's a bit going on. They've got some nice space, some nice layering, different tones. The panning was used well. There's some acoustic stuff being blended in at the background. Like, they've done a lot of subtle layering, which really sounds great. Here we go. Dean's got some gossiping on that one. He's saying engineered by Sam Goodwine. Thank you for the hot tip. I will get to that in a second. But this is Keith has gone pigs and troughs. Yes, there are pigs and troughs in an EP. There you go. Have a drink, buddy. But yeah, this is so catchy, so written, and there's more to this than anything that you and I have spoken about too. That there's going to be, I think, entry points for a great many people to find stuff in this to enjoy. These guys performing with Red Hook out of Sydney would be a great fucking gig. I reckon they'd work well together. Like you were saying, there's a lot in this EP. It's quite a little journey. This might be slightly on the fringes of what we do, but I'm very keen to check out a lot more from these guys. We'll be keeping an eye on what they're doing. Very well done to all involved. 8.5 out of 10 from me. Far From Home, An Unfortunate Tale of Two Lovers, and An Insatiable Taste for Poison are my two standouts on this one. But that said, there are no dud tracks on this one at all. It's very, very cool. Going back to some comments here. Got to go back a bit. Okay. Nicole has said fully charged batteries in this band. They are good, but still not my style, but they have that something, which is that they do have that bit of X factor about them, I reckon. It's cool. Sally says that punk sound is right up front, but yeah, it does have a cool dynamic to it. Liked it. Nice. Cool. Belinda is saying, I love this EP. Emo punk, yeah, but kind of got a heavy The Living End vibe here and there too. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad we're getting a lot of different points of reference on this, which is cool. Daniel says Wolf and Chain, not my cup of tea, and that's okay too. It's not for everyone, but it's very, very cool. It's cool to get. Hopefully, we'll get some stuff that is to your taste a bit later on. Dean says recorded at Loud Toy Studios, mixed by Jared Nettle. Thank you for the hot tip there, man. You're doing all the work for me. Like I said, engineered by Sam Goodwine. You're a gun, mate. Thank you. Julie has gone. Moyes, I'm assuming that's a reply to a comment before. Moyes' new line is rocking, ready to rock the world again. Yeah, baby, can't wait. I'm assuming that's a reply. I do apologize for that one. That's where Keith said pigs and troughs. So pigs and troughs, yes, that's my drinking game. And then Dean says great hooks and drum sounds, and that's very true as well. So all around, I'd call that an overall success. So I'm actually a bit surprised you enjoyed that as much as you did. I didn't think you'd go as against it as you did with My Chemical Romance, but I was curious how you'd go with it, and that's a good surprise. So I'm glad you enjoyed that a lot more than I thought, which is cool. All right, next up is Kissin Dynamite. We've got 2 more reviews to go, and then we're out of here, folks. Kissin Dynamite, in the links, in the comments, and in the description, you're going to find Kissin Dynamite, No One Dies a Virgin. There's no video for this one, but it's the latest official audio track released on YouTube. And I picked that track because I think it will appeal to a lot of our audience there as well. So this is Kissin Dynamite. No One Dies a Virgin is your reference track. We're going to get into the review now. So this is Kissin Dynamite, Not the End of the Road. 12 tracks for 50 minutes. The 7th studio album from the German band, released January 2022 via Napalm Records. This is their debut on that label. Produced by vocalist Hannes Braun, with mastering done by Jakob Hansen. 5 singles have been released, including What Goes Up and the title track of the album. Big thanks to Chris Marriage of Marriage Media for sending this one in to us as well. What do you think, Dave? I know you like this band.
Yeah, fucking love this. This was fantastic. And that song, Nobody Dies a Virgin, when I saw the title of that, I was just like, oh, what the fuck is this about? This is going to be cool. And the payoff for that is fantastic, especially in these times. But we reviewed their previous album, Ecstasy, in 2018. And I really enjoyed it at the time. And then they were the kind of, because we listened to so much music, they were a band that kind of faded into the background for me. I just didn't go back to it all that much. But I'm happy to say this album is amazing. It's high energy, upbeat rock with a positive mood, and they have a great sense of humor. There's also some serious moments as well, so it's everything I want from a rock and roll album in a great package. And it made me go back to their the previous album, Ecstasy, and go back to their first album, which has a song on it called "I Hate Hip Hop," which is great.
You didn't hear that in the chat earlier on, yeah.
Oh man, the lyrics of that song are fantastic. This band is awesome. But this just has fucking balls and a lot of swagger to this band. There's great riffs, great melodies. There's a song for every mood on here. There's the rockers and some laid back songs. And it works as party music, it works as driving music, or if you're just on your own, just listening to something. Singer's voice is fantastic, and it's perfectly suited to rock. And he handles the slower stuff as well. Fucking production on this is great. It sounds big. The band is big, so the production's suiting. I love guitar solos, and these ones, it didn't have that cliche moment of pushing the guitar solo forward. It just sat where it was. And most bands will push the guitar solo forward, but I liked it wasn't like overstated, and it works well. The song Yoko Ono is fucking hilarious. I'd love to have her reaction if she actually heard it. So it's like a song called Yoko Ono.
She would just scream into a microphone in an art gallery somewhere.
Yeah. Poor John. Love isn't blind, it's fucking deaf. Oh man. But the track flow is great. You got an awesome opener to this with the obvious single and title track. Now is not the end of the road. It's a perfect choice for a track, a single. And then it closes with a slower, more reflective song, Scars. So it's an interesting contrast in the opening and closing, and just shows both sides of the band, and everything in between is just fucking gold. If you've seen the video to Not the End of the World, that's fucking cool. It's a genuine cool rock and roll song. You got the band performing in like an aircraft hangar, and you got this car doing burnouts around a chick dancing and around the band. So it's what else you want from a rock and roll song.
Pretty much.
I like the use of the strings in the closing track, Scars. I thought that was a great addition and built that dramatic ending. There's a song, Good Life. It has some guest female vocals. That was a nice addition. And overall, this album's just a fun, enjoyable rock and roll album. And I got more and more out of this with every listen. And I'm gone back to their previous album and the first album. They got about 6 or 7 now. They've been around since 2004. Yeah. So they've got a lot to backtrack. But I think they've done something special with this, and they'll get them a lot of well-deserved attention. They've been at it for almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
Or 15 at least. So they've kept going. So this could be the band to get them out there further, because, they're pretty fucking good. My favorite songs just kept changing, but I gave this 9 out of 10. And Not the End of the Road, What Goes Up, Yoko Ono, No One Dies a Virgin, Defeat It, and Voodoo Spell. Voodoo Spell.
Okay, cool. You like that one too. All right, cool. Nice. All right, now my first note is this is big, powerful, heavy rock with heaps of melody on this one. But there's some really nice groove and swagger. They've got that They've just got this swing to what they do, which is really, really cool. Great vocals, just the right amount of grit in there too. Some very nice riffs, and the lead work, while it wasn't pushed to the shit house sonically, it cuts through because of the performances that are going through there as well. So this is really well done. I like the lyrics on this one. There's some very serious stuff you get when you dig into it, like everyone, like, no one dies a virgin because everyone gets fucked by the world kind of thing. There's actually a bit of it's like you said, the payoff to that song is really clever, but they've got some sort of tongue-in-cheek moments in there too, like with things like Yoko Ono and stuff as well. So they've got fun and they've got serious in the one album. They're not a one-trick pony in that regard either. So they've got some serious heartfelt stuff, and then they just go for it and have some fun, which is really cool. I like that in an album. I think that in that context, Steel Panther can learn from the songs No One Dies a Virgin and Yoko Ono about how to expand on their gimmick. I think where Steel Panther have been on a bit of a downward trend, these guys, this is probably the best album they've done, and this is probably on the upward trend for these guys. So I think, Ships in the Night maybe, but they could learn a thing here. For mine, just my point of view. There is some great use of tempo, and the slower tracks are put in just the right spots on this album. So Keith, if you're watching, peaks and troughs. So this flows really, really nicely. I love the way this album just flew by. It was easy to repeat spin too, for that matter. And you got some guest spots on Good Life. They work really, really nicely. You've got Charlotte Wessels, who was from Delane for a while, along with Saltatio Mortis and Gwenita Mantini. So there's some nice guest spots on that track there. And it was a nice little sort of break up to the mood of the thing as well. It was a good one there. The whole thing sounds great. It's really fresh. It's modern. It's incredibly well balanced. Like, they did a lot. There's a bit going on with this one. Not heaps, but there's a bit in there. And for the vocalists to be mixing it, and they haven't gone and made the vocals just fucking way out there. They've actually, everything's blended really nicely. So it's a really, really good and well-balanced production job. Not a lot of tricks. It's just very, very well done. I thought the vocals actually sat exactly where they needed to on this one. And the way they laid in the accents and the harmonies on that aspect was incredibly well executed. This is pretty much, for me, a quintessential modern rock album. It's got everything you want. The anthems are here. There are some big fucking anthems on this one. It's not the most original thing out there. It doesn't need to be. It just needs to be fucking well done. And that's what these guys have done here. All for Hallelujah is one of those songs where that anthem thing, that would go off live. It's just got the perfect vibe and the hook for the live environment. At the big festivals over there, this will go off. There's some good ballads on this one too to counteract those big anthem moments. So Gone for Good is fantastic. There's softer tones in this. There's some acoustic moments. It's really well blended. There's great depth and space. The way they've done everything on this is a really mature, well-rounded listen. Voodoo Spell is about the most interesting sonically that you get. That's the only one that sort of starts playing with different sounds. The rest is just straight up rock, which is fucking cool. Well done. It's got it all. It's got flash. It's got soul. It's got attitude. It's got heart. If you like melodic hard rock at all, you should give this a spin. And like you, it's one of those ones where it got better the more I listen to it. Every time I listen to it, your standouts kind of change, and what grabs your attention shifts with each listen. There's something here for every mood. It's fucking well done. It's a bit of a hit machine, and that can be a bit of a, I'm not sure about this one kind of thing, but for what the songs, how well executed they are, hard to be disappointed with this one. This is like I said, this is probably the best album yet for mine. I gave it a 9 out of 10 as well. Only the Dead, No One Dies a Virgin, Gone for Good, and Defeated were my standouts there. So you got a couple of different choices there to go through. So check it out. Let us know what you think. We've got some comments coming through, which is nice. All right, let's scroll back a bit. All right. Back to quickly with Wolf and Chain, just to wrap up that little one there. Dean's gone Wolf and Chain with The Last Martyr. I reckon you add that and Red Hook together, that's going to be a really good fucking night. They'd all work well together, those three bands. That'd be fucking great. On to this one, though. Nicole has said, I like this, can hear many influences. That's cool. Dean says, really like Kissin Dynamite. Great stuff. I'll let you check out the album. Good. Please do. Let us know what you think. Nicole has put here, sounds like Area 7's No One Likes a Bogan. So,
Cool.
Cool. What else we got here? So Dean says Dave with the John and Yoko comments. Sally, it's pretty cool. Great big soaring vocals with that Euro metal type thing. It's barbecue background music for me. 6 out of 10-ish. It's fair enough too. It's a fair critique. Well done. Dean says Kissin Dynamite with the treatment and Eclipse. I can see now that would be
yes.
Yeah, that would be
That'd
good.
be a good night.
Especially with the treatment's last album. That was a fucking cracker.
Yeah.
Belinda has gone here. Not possible to feel sad after listening to this album. I reckon that's pretty good too. It's actually one of those ones that it does make you feel really pumped up and in a good mood after listening to it, which is fucking cool. Any album that does that for you is pretty good. So yeah, good point there, Belinda. Daniel has gone, Kissin Dynamite ain't bad, eh? Worth a deeper look. Definitely. There's a few albums there to go through, and the last one before this was pretty bloody good too, so well worth your time. Dean says, my type of style, I need to check out this album. I didn't know they had a new album. So there we go. That's the point. That's why we do what we do here, to try and show people there's a whole lot of new music out there. TC has jumped in. It's a very catchy album. The singer can switch between vocal tones to suit the songs well. That's very true as well. Dean says, support overseas for Airborne or Thunder Mother. That would be, Thunder Mother would be really good. Airborne would be cool too. But Thunder Mother, I reckon, would really, really fit. What else we got here? Daniel's DMing with other people now. Nicole's gone the chorus part. Okay, in reference to the Nobody Likes a Bogan. Yeah, that's probably a fair point with that song that I chose there, but it's a bit of fun anyway. And Dean says the Treatment's new album was my album of the year. Got it on CD. They're very, very cool. That is a great album, that one from last year. Check it out. Alrighty. Keep the comments coming as we move on to our main event of the evening. It's that time of the night where we get to that one that is the draw card of the event, and this is Battle Beast. So in the links in the description and in the comments, you're going to find Battle Beast. Wings of Light is the one I've chosen to go with this one. It's, I think, the most recent video, but it's also one I think that will go well with the audience. So it's Battle Beast. Circus of Doom is the album. 10 tracks, 42 minutes. The 6 studio albums and finished band, released January 2022 via Nuclear Blast. Produced by keyboardist Jana Björkroth at JKB Studios in Helsinki. 3 singles have so far been released, including Master of Illusion and Eye of the Storm. Special thanks to John Howarth and Nuclear Blast for sending this one in to us. Dave, you've been a fan of this band for a little while. How'd you go?
Yep. Oh, I love this band. I discovered them on their self-titled album back in 2013, and I've been following every album ever since, because I first heard that album, so I was like, holy fuck, this is fucking great, and the vocals are insanely good. And if you know this band, as expected, it's filled with big bombastic songs. But it's got the symphonic element, but it's not as prominent as what you would get with Nightwish or Dark Maw. It's not overplayed, it's just really powerful. So if those type of bands put you off symphonic metal, check this one out, because it might be a bit more accessible to a lot of people. I mean, they're a 6-piece band, 2 guitar players and guitar, which is cool on stage. So there's a fucking lot going on in these songs. And they sound great on this album. The solos are impressive. The choruses have those hooks you'd expect. It's all powerful. And these tracks would be amazing live, mixed in with some of the tracks from the previous albums. Their singer, Nuna Luhimo, her fucking vocals are just absolute beast. I did a phone interview with her years ago, and she's such a lovely person. Really nice to talk to. It's just really happy to talk about the process of writing songs and her vocal techniques and warming up for gigs. It was just one of those interviews was just like, you're a really nice person, and that makes me happy, because this is a really good band. Cool. This album, in the whole scheme of things, would probably be the most accessible thing they've done to date. And
I'd agree with that.
Lost a little bit of the harsher edge they had in earlier albums, and a little bit of the harsh growl that she had to her delivery, but it's not forced. It's a natural maturity to their songwriting, and it's a natural growth, and they haven't really sacrificed who they are or their identity. They've just,
I was going to say they didn't go hell for leather on the synth side either. They managed to balance it out really well.
Yeah. The album title, Circus of Doom, it's a cool idea. It's a cool concept. Kind of wish they'd gone back to it a little bit throughout the album, just to like bookend the theme or something, or add a little few reminders. It's not a concept album, but if you're going to call the album that, I mean, many bands have done a circus theme before, and they kind of revisit it just a little.
And the opening sort of gave that feeling too, didn't it?
Yeah, it kind of like, okay, this is going to be like a carnival, like Carnival of Sins that Motley did, or Psycho Circus that Kiss did. No, it's kind of a cliche, but you know, if you're going to add that as your title to the album, you're kind of waiting for it. But production is really well done. There's so much going on. It's all nice and clear. Their albums all sound fantastic. Like I said, I've been a fan for a long time. I just like a little bit more diversity with their song length. Everything on this album is around the 4-minute mark. And go back over their albums, and most of them are roughly 3.5 to 4.5 minutes. They've done a longer track here and there, but I'd like to see them tackle an epic track of like a 10-minute. They can really do something that builds and grows. But that's just what I like out of symphonic metal, and you don't really get it with this band. So if the long songs are what puts you off bands like this is probably a lot more accessible to people. I think this band could be a bridge for people who don't know where to start with symphonic metal and like either power metal or more traditional metal, because it's got all those elements. It's just delivered in that big bombastic package. But yeah, this is a cool album. I gave it 8.5 out of 10. Circus of Doom, Wings of Light, Eye of the Storm, and Road to Avalon were my standouts.
Cool. It's funny how we were so almost opposite in the singles, but in the albums we've gone down the same path, because I enjoyed this one. And normally I've been probably more critical of bands like this than you are, because it's much more your wheelhouse than mine. But whilst I don't think this is going to be for absolutely everyone, there is that European sort of cheesy factor that some people won't get into. That is a thing. But at the same time, like you said, this is a lot more accessible than you might think. So give this one a spin before you go and pass judgment, because it is going to probably get your attention a lot more. I think this is one of those ones where if the traditional ones of this genre sort of put you off, this will hook more than it leaves behind. This is one of those ones it is a gateway kind of one for me. Okay, yeah, we've got some comments on that too. So I'll get to, there's a lot of comments here coming through. But we've got what else we got here? So I'll get to the comments in a short bit, but they've got that European sense of rhythm and hook. That's definitely a big part of what they do with this. It has that almost, I hate to use this term, it's the ABBA metal effect kind of thing, where it's got that sort of dance kind of groove going on. But that is not meant to be a negative. It's just a nod to the songwriting chops, because it's one of those things where they're doing what they do to hook you in and to make it a more seductive listen. And that's designed, and it would go off live. Like you can imagine this stuff in the European Metal Festivals. This would go fucking off. This would be brilliant in those environments. From the singles leading up to the album, I was actually a little bit concerned that the synth might overpower the guitar on this one, but that isn't the case at all. They've actually balanced it out really nicely. That's why I made that comment before. They've really balanced this out. And between the wall of sound that is created between the synth, the guitar, the drums, the bass, that all suits Nora's voice really, really nicely. She gets to just power out the front. Not too far out front, but she just gets to cut through, and the balance is just right between all those elements. There's not a lot going on, but there's some nice depth space. The panning, just a bit of left and right about it, was really well done. I think allowing Nora to be the showcase point of this and giving her the hooks that they've given her with the vocals and the melodies is just a fucking bang-up job of songwriting. This is really well written. The performances are fantastic. It's undeniably catchy. That's the thing. They've done a great job composition-wise in making these songs really infectious. You're going to get, even if it's one of those things where even if you don't sort of spin it and doesn't sort of grab you, you're going to walk away 5 minutes later and get one of those hooks just spinning around in there. It's just going to get stuck in your head, give you an earworm before you know it. I think actually, to a big nod has to go to the lyrics on this one. There's a lot more meaning than you might think. I know I mentioned the sort of the cheesy factor, but in the lyrics, it's not there. There's some meaning to these songs. There's some bite to the stuff here. You got some stories being told. Very well done lyrics. I liked the lyrics in this one, and the overall album dynamics. I thought they were really, really well done too. This one pushed and pulled nicely. They used the changes of pace. I know that you were looking for a longer song personally yourself, but I like the way the whole album moved from beginning to end. And this is another one that was really easy to repeat spin. It's only a bit over 40 minutes. It was fucking really easy just to keep spinning this one. Big mix on this one. Nice album dynamics. Everything is, big on this, but nothing is overdone. I like the galloping rhythms, the blistering solos. It's got everything you want out of these ones here. I enjoyed this one a lot more than I thought I would on previous experience in this genre. Like I said, it flies by. It's a really neat listen. Not a lot of tricks or sharp turns. There's no sort of proggy elements. It's just get in there, get a rhythm going, get a hook in your head, and just go for it. And they fucking really do a good job of it here. So if you can handle a sort of a bit of a boppiness to it, this is going to really, really impress you pretty quickly. I did enjoy this one a lot, just like you. I gave it an 8 out of 10. No, just a bit lower than you, but I really did like this one more than I thought. So 8 out of 10. I picked Eye of the Storm, Master of Illusion, and Wings of Light as my standouts on this one. So, like I said, it's funny how we were so sort of diverse on the singles, but on the albums, we've been pretty uniform, which is a neat trick. It's cool. Got some comments. So let me scroll back a bit here, folks. Nicola said, now this is cool. She sounds like a female Udo. That's actually not a bad comp. That's not bad at all. Daniel's gone, heard Battle Beast before. Great band. There we go. Another one there. Dean is saying, we'll have to check this out. So far from the link you gave would be good with Threshold. Could be wrong. It's not a bad choice, actually. Mark, though, I said, can't deal with any level of synth. Loses me instantaneously. Shame, because everything else sounds great. Give this one a go. I don't think the synth is overpowering, but hey, if it doesn't grab you, it doesn't grab you. That's all good as well. Conrad, hey, good to see you here. He's gone, sorry I can't tune properly as I am down at the Gas Sofa Headhunters live rock metal karaoke. Enjoy. Have a good night out. Benjamin, our good friend Benjamin from New Zealand. Hey, guys, woke up face down in a mosh pit. What did I miss? Go back to the start.
Yeah.
I'm not reiterating it all for you. It's good. It's there. It's a stream you can rewatch later on. But good to have you, buddy. Good to see you again. Sally's gone, not something I'd reach for. A song here or there is enough for me. It's the operatic synth thing after a short while my ear switches off. Having said that, I really got into the grit that shows up more than the more emphasized parts of the vocalist's emotional delivery. She's a keeper, very talented. There we go. Nicely put. Well done. TC, it's awesome. Eye of the Storm is a phenomenal song and some cheese is always good. So there we go there. Yes, Benjamin, I said boppiness. If you can get around the boppiness. So there we go. I did put that in there. All right, yeah, but that was cool. I did enjoy that one quite a bit, actually. It was one of those ones where you get that bit of a surprise. I am still getting emails at 10 to 10 at night. My God, what is going on today? I'm having a busy week. Jesus Christ. All righty. I'll go through some of these after we're wrapped, Dave, because I think there's a bit here that you might be interested in. But that brings us toward the end of proceedings. Was there anything else you want to throw in there before we start to wrap things up, Dave? Or we all?
No, I think we're good.
We're good.
It's been a good night.
It's been a good night. It's actually, like I said, it's been a lot of fun. It was, I've said it a couple of times, but it's funny how we started off on the singles and then we sort of met in the middle on these albums. So there we go. Something for everyone here tonight. And it was cool how we got some different opinions from the audience. So thank you all for giving us your thoughts. I like getting different opinions, whether it's good or bad. So there we go. Julie's gone. What do we got here? Julie's gone. Oh, fucking hell thing. You rock, boys. Thank you for the kind words. We do our best. Not quite done. You've got a few minutes left, but we are getting through it. And Dean's gone. People love you, Andrew. That's why you get emails at 10 p.m. Yeah, I get emails at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. It never turns off. So I'm flat out. So again, check out our Patreon page so I can get onto these things as much as I possibly can. But anyway, on that note, a big thank you to our fantastic sponsors in Squidding, Strimping, Olcott, and Rockstar Finance. Please find them, give them a follow. Their details, just like ours, are in the description of this episode. So please like, follow, share, subscribe, all the usual things for them. And for us, of course, go and find us on your preferred social media platform and check it out. Follow us and keep up to date with everything we've got going on. We've got a lot going on now. This is going to be a pretty bloody big year, to be honest. Yeah. So we got lots of plans, and we're going to do as much as we can with a lot going on. So on that note, a big thank you to certain Patreon supporters of ours. So TC, Tim Caterson, Sonia Donabella, Lee McDonald, you're here tonight. Thank you for joining us. Jason Winch, Brendan Nellison, 16x9, Marty Powell, Sam Biondo, Trash Vegas, Carolyn Mallet, Gwyneth Richards, Andrew Heyman, Daniel Bateman, Man Family, and Bell Wright. Thank you all so much for your support. We do really, really appreciate it. If you want to get on to this sort of stuff here, check out our Patreon page, which is in the links. There's a link in the comments now. There's also a link in the description as well. So if you want to get involved in this sort of stuff, for $2 a month, which is literally like 50 cents a week, you can get like a dozen songs sent to your inbox a day and some exclusive content. That's the bottom, the cheapest of the cheap, and that you get a lot for that. So just check it out. If you'd be so kind, we greatly, greatly appreciated. Some quick comments here. What do we got? Okay, Dean says, rather have them coming in than nothing at all. I completely agree. I'm not complaining. It's just unusual. When I look at it, I get emails at 10 o'clock at night pretty often, but the people that are sending them to me this time of night don't normally work this late. So there's a lot going on at the moment, which is just an unusual day. I think everyone's trying to get everything in before the public holiday in a couple of days. Mark has asked, I've been out of touch with your show for a while. Did you ever get around to doing a Japan show? Not yet, but we are planning on doing themed stuff coming up in the months ahead. So that's definitely a consideration for that kind of stuff there too. So we'll do some digging and we'll get back to that. We haven't done it yet, but we do have plans to do different things this time around. Bash has gone, great show, boys. Great to honor Meatloaf and find new talent. Thank you for the kind words there. Greatly appreciated. Moose has gone, rock on, guys. Woohoo. Thank you for joining us tonight. Good to see you. BP has gone, good night, all. Thank you for joining us as well. Nicole has gone, thanks, guys. See you all next time. We're back on Thursday. And Benjamin from NZ, great show as always. So thank you for joining us here. Here's what's coming up, though. So for this month, we're still in January. We're going to be releasing a special over the next week, maybe a little bit longer than that, which is King of the Rift 1981. Not 81. Not King of the Rift 1987 edition. It's King of the Rift 1. It's a new format we're trying. It went really well the other night when we did it. So King of the Rift 1, 1987 edition. That will be out hopefully next weekend-ish kind of a thing. And then the TV episode for that will be around 1987 as well. So this is what's coming up with our streams and that. So on Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, we will be chatting about a Deep Cuts episode online, streaming live. We're going to talk about the latest from The Ferryman, Set Your Sails, and we're going to revisit a classic from Meatloaf in honour of his passing. Then at 10 o'clock on Australian Central Daylight Time on Channel 44 in Adelaide, you're going to get our episode where we have you and I, Dave, going through and picking our all-Australian bands with at least one female member in it. And that was a fun episode as well. So that's what's coming Thursday night on Channel 44. And then when you get to Channel 31 in Melbourne on Saturday night, 10:30 p.m., that is our THRS Marathon. So it's 6 hours of the Hard Rock Show on Channel 31 in Melbourne. That is at 10:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. The first 2 hours of that are a brand new episode dedicated to the year it was 1987. So it's all bands or albums or songs that were released 1987. That's where you're going to get 2 hours of that stuff there. And that'll be followed by 4 hours of vintage of the Hard Rock Show television broadcast from days gone by. That's what's coming up this week. There's a lot going on. We have a lot more planned. So please do follow us on the socials like I was saying before. Rowan's giving us the horns as always. So thank you for joining us again, our good friend there. And I think that brings us to the fun part of the evening, which we love and get to all the time. And that is to go to the bin. I've got a couple, Dave, but over to you first.
Yeah, I just got one for a change, but Scream 5. I am so disappointed in that movie. It had so much potential. The previews look great, but just the execution was really bad. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but the reveal at the end was bull fucking shit. No way. No way. Okay. Not going to happen. It just did not match up with height and movement. No way. Not a chance. But it wasn't just that. The characters were fucking terrible. I mean, in subsequent horror movies, it usually becomes the villain that's the hero, but you still at least care about some of the characters, and these characters were terrible. There was nothing of interest at all. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are great. The TV series is pretty cool, but Scream 5, no. I'm so disappointed. I love horror movies. I watch some really bad ones. But yeah,
this is you to can one, man. You love him.
Yeah, I mean, I can usually find something redeeming, and it was just I miss Wes Craven because he is known for horror, but he was also good at suspense, and there was no suspense in this. It just wasn't paced, it wasn't staged well, and it comes down to the characters. The characters were shit. They were boring. So, disappointing, but Scream 5 in the bin. There's my movie review for the week.
Extra content. We should do a Cobra Kai session at one point. We really should.
Do it.
We do want to do some Sunday night at the movie stuff. We've had some chats about some extra content we might be doing here and there. So just like I said, stick around. You'll find out when we work it out. I've actually got a special request from Nudes, our good friend Nudes, who usually joins us on the streams. He sent a bin in to me on his behalf, just in case he couldn't make it tonight. So this is for Nudes, mate. So if you catch up on this one. He's over in South Australia. So he's going, the Marshall government is going to close the Southern Intermediary Care Centre, which is where people go down south go to for mental health, help with suicidal thoughts and all that sort of stuff, or have tried to take themselves out, that kind of thing. They need more places like that more than ever these days, not having them closed. So he's putting that being closed in the bin. And I completely agree. That's a very bad decision. We need more of those facilities, not less, all around, especially in the times we've been in for the last couple of years. So that can go in there. For me personally, I'm going to lighten the mood. Okay, hang on. Let's go to some comments before I go to my one because it'd be a lot of fun. Quickly, Dean says, fuck the marathons. Glad to see them back. Used to stay up and watch them all, which is awesome. He also says, I want to see it, Dave. I love Scream movies. Heard a few reviews like that. So there you go. You're not alone in your thoughts there, Dave.
Let me know what you think.
Yeah. Rowan says, Cole's delivery in the bin. I got half of what I paid for plus a bag of things I didn't ask for. we've had not a dissimilar experience to Woolworth, to be honest. So, yeah, it's all the same thing. Dean agrees. Wes Craven is the man for Scream. Ben is saying the new Matrix movies can get in the bin as well. So there we go. And Nicole is saying Queensland drivers in the bin. And I think Moose is trying to put COVID in the bin. Dean's putting WA for not opening their borders in the bin. So everyone's getting in on it now. My turn. I'm going to have some fun with this one. This is for those that are paying attention. Anyone that wrote off Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs this year, get in the fucking bin, motherfuckers. 4 years in a row we're hosting the AFC Championship game at Arrowhead Stadium. So fucking first time in the history of the league that it's been done 4 years in a row at the same place. So cop that. But also, just for the record, I know you wouldn't know at this day. It won't make any sense at all to you whatsoever. No. But the overtime rules, yes, they are complete arse. They should change the overtime rules, especially in the playoffs. But that said, the Chiefs went through the exact same thing that happened today 4 years ago when the Patriots beat us at our home deck as well. So for those that are, wanting to change it now, the Chiefs tried to change it and they got voted down. So all of you all in the fucking bin too. Payback's a bitch. So I'm taking it while I can. Fuck, it was a cracker of a game today, my God. And Nicole's jumped in saying, bye, Brady. Hey, that was one of the better things out of there. The only bad thing about Brady not being there now is that if the Chiefs do make the Super Bowl, we can't knock Brady out and pass the torch officially. That's the only damn thing. Only damn thing. But anyway, we'll see what happens next year. We've got to get through this season first. And Dean's gone, very true, Andrew. Well done. Hey, look, it was a tough game. If the Bills had won it today, it would be just deserved. That 13 seconds was madness. Fuck, my God. I'll explain to you after, Dave. It was just, we scored, both teams scored something like, I think it was close to 30 points in the last 2.5 minutes of the game. It was fucking crazy. Shit. It went off. And it was just bonkers. Patrick Mahomes, I think, as a quarterback, passed for 200-something yards since the 2-minute warning to the overtime finale. It was overtime in this. It was a fucking monster game. So, Nicole, who do you go for if you were screaming at the TV? Who do you go for? I want to know. I forget. If you've told me, I'm apologizing. Let me know who you go for. But yeah, Dean's I gotta go see a game now on KO. That was awesome. The whole game is great, Dean. The whole game is great, but it was insanity. The last quarter, just watch the last quarter. If you don't watch the whole game, watch the last quarter. It was just, what the fuck? I'm tempted to go and watch it again. I don't normally do that. It was epic. Epic. But anyway, okay, Nicole, 49ers, don't judge me. Hey, you'd have been happy as fuck yesterday. Well done. You'd earned that win. You took Green Bay out with that field goal in the snow. That was something else. So, well done. Enjoy it. If we meet each other at Super Bowl again, don't hate me. I'm going to be hoping for a repeat of last time. So, there we go. All right, Dean's going to got to love moments like that. So, this was a great weekend all around. If you're a fan of the NFL, doesn't matter what team you go for. If you like the NFL, this is a great fucking weekend. It was one of the all-time ever weekends for the sport. But anyway, I'll move on from that now because we're supposed to talk about music, not about this sort of stuff here. Daniel's gone, awesome show, guys. Drink up and rock on. And that's precisely where we're going to now. We're going to wrap up and get out of here. We'll be back again on Thursday night with our next stream. So make sure you come and join us. Then we go to our deep cuts session for the week. Is there anything else you want to add, Dave, or are we getting out of here?
I think we're done.
We're done. All right, cool. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We do appreciate your time. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Make sure you check out the music for yourselves and let us know what you think as well. But we're back again very, very soon. Until next time, though, I'm Andrew.
I'm Dave.
And as always,
drink up
and rock on.